Kyle really comes into play.
And here's Carter off the pick.
Nice little side to side to get things started for the Nets. That's how he was going to get a 12-foot jumper on the way down.
9 unanswered by the 76ers. Carter gets inside. That will count. Not a good play by Dallenberg. That might not have gone in. So the basket counts and the foul.
And this is one of the things against the Celtics the other night that Vince Carter did very, very well. They started getting him the ball on the blocks, and he threw his body towards the rim, really challenging defenders. So my guess is that Vince Carter, Jason Kidd will start to hit the blocks a little bit more frequently with their length and their strength down deep against the Sixers' smaller guard lineup.
Foul was called on Iguodala. 3-point play for Carter.
There you're going to focus on him.
Here's Carter for 3. Yes.
Oh, a nice stroke there. Vince really squaring up. Looks like he's...
The Sixers up by 2.
Yeah, Carter likes to shoot that ball. Defensive side of the floor.
And stopping the 6-game losing streak in Boston the other night. A beautiful reverse stuff by Vince Carter.
I think that... Let's take a look at the middle of the floor against the zone. Where's the help? Well, there isn't any, and that's why he was able to come back with the reverse.
Marcus Williams now working the point. Williams and Adams in the backcourt. Carter fires for 3. Dallenberg came out, had the hands up.
And Carter, I think, just has to get a little bit more active and really go after it. One guy that will love to see that happen is Lawrence Frank. Take over the game, Vince, whenever you want to.
Kidd is also back. Eddie House taking part in only 1 full-scale practice. That was yesterday. Beautiful move. Carter got the step. And it's been an excellent first half for Vince Carter. 6 of 7. He now has 17 points.
And Sixers up early by 4. Later, Kidd with a pass to Carter, top of the key for 3. One of his 2 threes early on. Good ball movement by the Nets. And Hassan Adams, who's coming off a terrific game against the Celtics, takes it down low or feeds it to Carter. Carter gets the... Here's a guy who has failed to score less than 20 in only 2 games this season. And he is back in a roll after scoring 23 against the Celtics. A good first half as Carter scores 17 on near perfect.
NBA start. If Kyle Korver were available, he would have been in the starting lineup. Here's Carter with a nice move on Iguodala.
Yeah, and one of the things with your point there, too, with Carney, Marv, is the fact that...
And Kidd looks to pop it down, has Carter ahead of the field, and he... Oh, look out. Oh, he was fouled by Weber, landed on his wrist.
Bounce right up, and watch Kidd turns around, flips it down over the shoulder, and where does he hit the wrist? Yeah, coming down, he gets it. That's where you have to be careful. You know, from behind, you get the grab, and then coming down to support yourself. That's one thing I do.
There's Kidd in the open floor, going right at Iverson, and it's put down by Carter.
Now let's see if he holds the wrist this time down the floor. Doesn't seem to appear to do it. Shakes it off just a little bit. So far so good with Vince Carter's wrist. Kidd once again doing what he does so well, pushing the action, and Carter finishing it off. Good to see Vince getting off the floor and dunking.
And Kidd with the rebound and pops it down. He has Carter ahead of the field. Carter able to gather it in and scores.
Way to stay with it. It was interesting, wasn't it, when Vince caught that ball a couple of Giants. Jets throw the ball this much.
The alley-oop for Carter. Right on target. Jason Kidd with his 8th assist. Vince Carter taking it to the rim. He now has 26. The Nets in the midst of a 10-2 run with 5:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Nets with a 71-59 advantage. 22nd timeout, so we'll...
And they have proved it here in the 3rd quarter where they've gotten it going. And Kidd kind of faking and waiting, and a little two-hander over the top of the head. And boy, that was right on the money.
Hardy now defending on Carter with help. Carter was triple-teamed and took it to the rim.
That is exactly what Vince Carter did Wednesday night against the Celtics.
For 15. This time Philadelphia does get back. Carter open for 3. Yes. I guess the wrist is fine.
It sure looks pretty good to me.
Assist number 10 for Jason Kidd, closing in on career triple-double number 77, which would tie for third place.
Why Vince Carter started off with Vince on a kind of a breakaway where he hurts his wrist for a short period of time, and then he starts to go to work with the follow-up dunk coming down after the Kidd miss, works the glass and gets another layup down deep. Then he goes up high to finish one off, and now Kidd again finding him for the long-range bomb. So Vince Carter showing no ill effects.
Kidd and House in the backcourt. Carter, Kristich, and Collins up front. Oh, Vince Carter on the reverse, led by Jason Kidd.
Anytime you come out of a timeout, you want to...
Carter met by Green. Hunter over. And Carter saw it. Beautiful look. He saw the double team. He saw Hunter had left Collins. And Iverson.
Watch the timing there, too, with Carter finishing it off. And then Carter, he's going to get a little pass right down to the bottom. Collins just has to fill the open void, as you touched on before, Marv.
91-83. Nets with the lead. Here's Carter. That's too easy. Maurice Cheeks cannot be...
Carter's just going to float right to the middle. Look where he catches the ball. I mean, no one's denying him the ball. Remember, that's Vince Carter there. It's... You know, he's pretty good at finishing plays down. Finds a way to score, doesn't he?
Carter got bottled up. Out of the recovery, he's able to hook it home. Sensational offensive ball game for Vince Carter. 15 of 21. He has 37 points along with 7 rebounds. Carter passed on a 3.
2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Carter being played by Weber. Nice pass. Jefferson. Yes! And the foul!
Pretty good decision by Vince Carter not to take that 3. Recognized that he could go by Weber with the dribble. And is this a clean one? I'm not so sure this is a clean dunk here or what this is, but Jefferson somehow guides it towards the basket and it ends up going down. He wants to dunk it. He gets hit across the arm, and somehow the ball 3 doing just what you said up in Beantown, and all of a sudden Carter to Jefferson. Kidd has been a factor. Kristich is adding his 2 cents for tonight. So those 3 and 4 guys coming down the stretch are the guys that the Nets need to play well. And they have done a nice little job here in the last 2 possessions to get Carter and Kidd and Jefferson really involved. Thing has fallen into their places right to this point.
3 and 8/10 seconds remaining. Philadelphia without any timeouts. Carter hits 2 clutch free throws. So well, Carter goes front rim, but he cannot be happy with this finish. 112-107.
Thanks, Marv. Vince, let's start and talk a little bit about your health status. How's the wrist feel after that tough fall?
I feel all right. I refuse to let myself miss those free throws in the end. It's a little sore, but this is a big win for us. 1 in our division. For 2, we need to protect home. We haven't played our best basketball at home, so this was a big win for us.
Let's talk a little bit about the decision making. It seemed that with Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, and yourself really getting involved. Second half in Boston, there was a nice carryover effect tonight.
Yeah, we wanted to start off early. Just come out fighting and firing in the beginning, really to set the tone and just try to maintain from there. I think our bench really did a great job of just being active and very involved in the game tonight.
You touched on a moment ago, Vince, this homestand that's coming up. A huge amount of games here in the homestand. How important is it this game tonight to get off on the right track? Because the competition is pretty stiff coming up.
But we have a very friendly December and a rough January, so it's important for us to get as many wins at home as we possibly can so we can go on a road and maybe have a better showing this time.
You know, at halftime, Sullivan, we interviewed him, and he said, go Heels. Would you pass along?
Go Heels.
Go Duke, will you?
Go Heels.
Go Heels. Okay, Marv, I'm going to send it back to you.